Welcome back to this live session. Welcome back, traders, to another live session. Starting another big trading week, last day of trading week, and expecting another trading week coming up very soon. Hope that you guys are ready for Friday, last day of trading week. Let's see where the market is heading to. Welcome back to this another live session, Traders Friday. And after yesterday's successful session, let's look at this one here on gold, what we are looking at today in the market. Looking at from the bigger picture perspective and from the smaller picture perspective, today gold, we can see that after the market open, from the daily, from the support level, there is a bounce back to the upside here. I hope that the stream is going well. Thanks for joining. Hello, welcome. Good morning. Welcome to this live session. Expecting another big trading day. First of all, let's see what's happening in the market. We have seen there was a yesterday massive breakdown from the daily time frame. And after this breakdown, the price has broken back below. And currently with the market open today, we can see there is an initial bounce back to the upside here. And with this bounce, if we look at long-term picture in this market, first of all, I'm going to do a complete multi-time frame analysis on gold to see how the market is potentially doing. And then we will be looking at the lower time frame to see potential entry opportunity in this market. Looking at monthly here on gold to see that overall direction in this market. From the monthly, we can see that gold from this trend line, from this support level, there is a monthly bounce to the upside here with this series of higher low formation. The market has made its initial move back to the upside here, and with this monthly move, if we look at the weekly perspective here, we can see that from the weekly time frame, after the weekly open, the market has broken back below with a stronger momentum. And that momentum that we can see on gold from this resistance line, the market started to break below here. And that's breakdown here that we can see from the weekly perspective here. The price is approaching this level. There is an imbalance in this market, guys. This is a key point that I'm going to look at now in the market, that from here this is a stronger bounce back to the upside, followed by this is the weekly market drop here. From the weekly, the price has made its move back below this level with a one single drop. And today is the last day of trading week. Now the question is, the market, is this dropping further below or moving back again to the upside to the major direction of the trend? This is what we will be looking at here in this market. And looking at here from the weekly, we can see there is a drop here. Now what we can expect in the upcoming session, the market to bounce back hard for a pullback and then to return back again to the major direction of the trend. Looking at daily chart now, when we are looking at daily price action here, daily market is quite important, as from the daily perspective here on gold, this is the daily bearish move that we have seen previous day. The market has broken this swing low from here. Once the market opened today here, this is the daily bounce back to the upside. Now from this level, if we look at today's move that we can expect in the market, how do we look at? Either first of all to decide this market is going to drop or going to go up. This is the first question that we look at. Everyone as a trader, we ask that should I be buying or selling? Because to make a trading decision, we need to first of all find out the directional bias, which is the first requirement of entering into a position, right? And that's what we need to look at when we are looking at the market, to find out either should I buy or sell in the market. And to understand that directional bias, either to buy or sell in this market, what we need is a trend to understand that this market is in an uptrend or downtrend. Secondly, that we need to look at is liquidity. Guys, this is trend we understand, right? Most trader, even in the beginning stage, can understand the trend, can read the higher high and higher low, series of lower high and lower low. But the liquidity, which way the smart money grab the liquidity, is very few understand it. Very few. And that's why it is very important that whenever you are looking for a trading opportunity, the first thing that you need to look at is to look at liquidity grab. When the market is grabbing the liquidity and which way they are grabbing the liquidity. Because if the smart money grabbing the liquidity from support, the market will go to the upside. If the smart money grabbing the liquidity from resistance, the market will go to the downside. You can note that down. These are the rare education and the clues that you will be finding here that will change your entire trading completely, because that one single point can give you huge advantage of in your trading, because you're probably thinking to buy and you see that which way the market is grabbing liquidity from the top, from the resistance. This market may continue to drop. So that is why it is so important for traders to look for the liquidity grab. Now look at here, guys. This is very important. Try to understand what I'm saying. Once you pay attention, you'll see that you understand it very clearly. Once you get that point, you can see it everywhere. You can see it on all the trade. Attention is very important. Keep in mind where you pay attention, energy flows, right? So, and also when you can get to the point, then you can see it everywhere. It's like a pre-programming your reticular activating system, because the way we look at the market is completely different in the way in actual market really works. So it is important that you understand it very clearly. So look at here in this market, which way the bias will be today. Sometime reading the market is very different than it's very counterintuitive. That I would say counterintuitive, guys. This is a very important point. Keep in mind, counterintuitive. If you understand that point, then it's become easy to explain. So reading the market is counterintuitive. So what does that counterintuitive mean? Counterintuitive is when things goes against your intuition. And that's why Einstein once said that intuition is more important than knowledge. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Right? So that's intuition. This is your gut feeling, your understanding how you see the world without anything from yourself. So it's counterintuitive because we more often things look at from the intuitive perspective. But the market moves, it's very counterintuitive, is because, let me explain to you now. Then you'll see that why I'm trading that way more often. You see this daily red candle, right? Now, when you see this daily red candle, what happened? There are two things that a successful trader use. One is the technical analysis for directional bias. The other one is trading psychology. Is most trader trade based on what they think. Successful trader trade based on what others think. So it's important that you also think about what you think, and also you think about what others think about the market. And that's why he said that profitable trader doesn't have their own mind. Okay, profitable trader doesn't have their own mind. It's a very important point to look at. Why? Because we need to ask question when you are entering into the trade. Look at this red bear candle here. And when you look at this red bearish candle, look at the previous, this is the daily support. Now, when this market dropped to that level on a single day, what happened here? When this green candle formed, with this green candle, there was a buyers here, right? There's stop loss here. Followed by another green candle, the price has moved that level. Also the stop loss here. And with this breakdown, with this red candle on the daily, all those order has been triggered. That means that all those buyers stop loss has been hit. And when all those buyers stop loss has been hit, all those buyers turn into seller, and the smart money bought from that level. You see? So when the smart money, just at the end, what you need is to find out what the smart money is doing. When the retail trader is buying, smart money will be selling because they need trader against them. So that's why this red candle is basically triggered a lot of stop loss of the buyers that caused to turn those buyers into seller. And when they are selling, smart money buying, the market is going to go up. So that being said, today's price opened from here, from the daily. And that is why today the market is going back to the upside. That being said, looking at here on the lower time frame, now dropping down to the lower time frame for a potential entry, we can see that there is an uptrend here with this daily market open. And with this daily market open, this is an uptrending market structure. Currently, the price has crossed that low, followed by, if you look at the 30 minutes, you can see that there is a pretty strong breakdown here, from the 30 minutes, and currently the market is pushing back in the major direction of the trend. So currently this is the previous daily high here. From this level the market dropped to that level. If you look at here, because this is the daily high, what you could see today, the market to possibly to refill that zone, that imbalance in the market, at least certain extent, at least to more than 50% or even fully. So any break below here today, any important support to be broken, is where we can look for possible bullish entry. So we found the directional bias here on gold. This is the 1 minute chart and also the 5 minute chart. Let's look at the 1 minute here, and that's where the support level that you can see is that level. From this level the market has made its move back to the upside. 1 minute and 15 minutes that we will be using for this potential bounce back to the upside here. 3341.78 here in this market that we will be looking at. If we look at our TF signal, here is, we can see some of the trade that has shown in my this is another a huge development in the academy, that you guys have seen that in the past we had quite a few AI tool. Now our goal here is to make the best trading tool possible to help the members in the academy. Currently this is my strategy that I'm using and giving me the most updated way to trade the market with entry, stop loss and take profit target, guys. You see, look at these two trades with this AI tool. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we need to trade based on strategies, and more often, especially when you're looking, let's say this is the 1 minute chart, and when the candle has formed on the 1 minute chart, okay, so this candle has formed, this candle has formed, this is a lower time frame market structure, right? When you have a strategy, the real strategy, you need ATR, you need indicators, you need moving averages, you need price action, you need support and resistance, you need to look at the daily support, daily resistance, you need to look at the higher time frame trend. All of them checking on this lower time frame takes time, but as a trader you need to do that in the right way. You need to take time. You need to learn to add 1 + 1 = 2. You need to do the maths. Square root of 2 plus square root of 5, and then doing it manually, a big mathematical problem, but you still need to know that to pass the exam. But when you are at work, you are not doing it, you are using the calculator, that is AI. 2025, 2026 and beyond, a time of artificial intelligence. Already it's there, we see, and this is the revolution is happening in this academy. You can see that this is my strategy now giving me directly trade alert of buy and sell with probability that I need to look at which trade is higher probability or the lower probability, and based on that I directly can enter with proper risk management. This is trading. That's how you need to trade when you are looking at the market. As I mentioned, all trade may not be winner, but when you do the risk management and you take this kind of bigger wins, this is a massive 2 wins can give you everything that you need. Let's keep eye on more on that. This is an exclusive strategy that I am trading, and also currently it's open for the premium members in the academy. Now almost no traders share their secret strategy and trading tools, but here I'm open to give it to the person or the traders who are really dedicated in their trading. It's a probe and back tested strategy, directly showing me what I need here, and whenever it appears, it will appear in the market. So that being said, including also the education is the most important part. As a trader, you must learn first the strategy before you use it. As I mentioned, all trade may not be suitable for you to take it, but once you know the strategy, you know that you should be taking the trade or no. The signal is there, but it's your freedom either you to take or no, based on education and the strategy that you are learning. So now let's look at here what's happening in this market here from the lower time frame. I'm looking at here on the 1 minute. We see that, as I mentioned earlier, this is the daily support that I'm drawing that level on the daily. Two important level. One is this one, daily support. Daily support, an important daily support, and where, let's look at that here. And if we look at the lower time frame with this level, so to key level that we can look at, and over time we can adjust the level if needed. Currently this is current daily support, and this is intraday support here. If you look at the 4 hour here, that you can see the market on this 4 hour time frame showing potential bounce. And if we look at here also the 4 hour level, it's still this candle is premature, and the probability for going up and weak fill is higher, but at the same time this is an intraday support level is here. And if the market coming during this session period to test this daily support, we can look for possible entry in this market. Now we found the daily support, and we can say that intraday support. How the market is reacting to those levels will determine either we will be going long here or no, because today's market showing that potentially upside so far. That being said, 1 hour price action, we can see that market from this level form a bullish candlestick pattern here in that area. I'm looking at this lower time frame here, and we see there's a 15 minutes candle closed in this area with a lower time frame support level formation here. This is the 15 minutes support. If the market drops in a way that we are looking at this market to give us trading opportunity, we'll be looking into that. Otherwise, we are waiting for the price to show up an entry, as the market showing a possible uptrend, but at the same time we'll be waiting for a retest or the liquidity grab from this key area of support level. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart here on Xauusd. That is giving a possibility for this market to potentially either to consolidate or bounce back to the upside. This is the current 4 hour session. So if we look at based on the current 4 hour session for a potential buy, we'll be using this level, and this is where this is the 4 hour support. So the 4 hour support is here, and if we look at the intraday support level, which is the previous level that we are looking at, and in that area that you can see the market to possibly bounce back to the upside here. and this is the 15 minutes support. So we need to mark that always what kind of support there, because all support we will not look at from the all time frame. We will be looking at 15 minutes support, we will be looking at 4 hour support, and we will be looking at the daily support. Looking at the 15 minutes here, this is the 15 minutes low. The market may potentially revert from that level, or it might retest the 4 hour support, or it may continue to rise back to the upside here. Anytime the market coming back below this level, we will be looking to see if we will be going long or short. Guys, keep in mind there is very important point when we are entering into position, is not only the price to come back to that support, but also how the price has come back to that support. Welcome. Hello sir, welcome. Good morning. It's pretty important to look at, as I mentioned earlier, it's not only how the market is coming to the support, but also how the market has come to that support. There are plenty of ways to understand. Either it's a false breakout or it's a valid breakout. When you understand the false breakout, you know that it's not an actual breakout in the market. I'm looking at here on lower time frame for the market to potentially come back here to the 4 hour support, or even to the daily support for any kind of entry for this day. We see there is a break below here on the lower time frame. And if you look at the 5 minutes and the 30 minutes, we can see the market in this lower time frame also in a consolidation. As you can see, the market is coming back below here in that level where there is an important support level, and expecting the market to trend back down here to create a new lower low in this market. Now we see the price has just broken back below. From the 4 hour perspective, that you can see the market in this lower time frame from the 1 hour as well, it's almost to the 1 hour support level. Now this long wick candle can be a possibility for a bullish or bearish move in this market. The market can still be bearish until you see the market has in fact tested that 4 hour low with a stronger momentum or with a stronger price action. We will not be entering into any position here. If we look at the 4 hour support here, this is the 4 hour low, this session's low, 10 and 20 EMA for the 4 hour is bearish. for the lower time frame on the 1 minute, we can see just has the market crossed from the 10 and 20 EMA. So the trend here in this market is currently from that. If we look at the market has come back to this daily low, to the daily support, we will be looking for possible support entry from this support. Now from the 1 hour, if we look at here, you can see this is a, now instead of bouncing back to the upside, we see the market getting rejection. How the price is interacting is very important. If you look at here, you can see that 1 hour 10 and 20 MA crossed from each other, and it's a 1 hour market now getting the rejection. So with that rejection here, okay, so with this rejection, we need to look for how the market is reacting. 15 minutes, we saw there is a crossover from each other, and it was in a bull market. Now to enter buy, we need to see sharp rejection from this lower time frame price action. Now we see the market sentiment is changing. As I mentioned earlier, guys, you see I haven't entered into any positions because until we see that the market has shown us the directional bias. Now this support is coming for the price coming to test that level. Now if the market breaks that support and completely breaks below, we even could see that the market is started to trend back down here, as it's a from the daily that move. So this is the daily support. If the price start to drop here, it is possible for the market to come back here to this daily support. Now it is very important to look at when we are opening position is what time frame we are using to enter the trade. From the 5 minutes, we can see that the market had a complete crossover here. From the 15 minutes, we can see the price is on the support level. From 30 minutes, that's where the market is on the support. Now, that support could completely break below and still could continue to drop back down here to this daily support, or can go back up and continue to rise back to the upside. Which one is likely to play out will determine by the lower time frame price action. Here is we can see that 1 minute, it's a complete crossover of 10 and 20 MA. So in this 1 minute time frame, trend changes, the market sentiment changes from this uptrend now to a downtrend. The market sentiment changes. So when we are trading, I think market will go back to daily support, then continue to bearish. So this is what we're looking at. If you look at here in the 50 minutes, you can see the market has completely changes its trend again. On the 1 minute, we can see it turned to a bear market now. Now with this bear market, if we look at the 1 minute and the 5 minutes in both time frame, the candle, the price just has crossed over from each other. If we look at the 1 minute, that you can see it crossed from each other, and with this crossed from each other on the 1 minute time frame, this is the higher time frame as 15 minutes. This is the high of this 15 minutes. So it is possible now for the market, if the price go ahead and hit that level, to again trend back below. So we are waiting for a directional confirmation. This is the key here, to look at the directional confirmation, because we don't want to enter in a market where we are not directionally confirmed from the trend. You can see this is the 5 minute chart, and getting that rejection back to the upside. It's a puzzle, guys. Trading is like a puzzle, but once you understand how to solve that puzzle, you can enter any trade at any point in time. So on the 1 minute, we are not being able to enter any sell trade, neither a buy trade because of the trend. If we look at the 15 minutes, that you can see here, the 15 minutes is still maintaining that uptrend, which is 4 hour is downtrend. If you look at the 1 hour and the daily, it's always better idea is to wait for complete directional bias. Now 4 hour trend is 10 and 20 EMA here. This is the current session's high. Looking at the 15 minutes, still not crossed over from each other for the downtrend here on the 15 minutes. We are waiting to see that potentially which way finally the market breaks down. From this support level, we see there is an initial bounce back to the upside here. It's always the important point here is to look for two trend, okay, uptrend and the downtrend, and then two multi-time frame. Is it in a higher time frame and the lower time frame? Are they coinciding together from the higher time frame to the lower time frame? These are the points that you need to look at when you are opening position in the market. Because the 10 and 20 may crossover on the 15 minutes, which is showing here an upside bias. Now if we look at the 1 minute, we might see 1 minute crossover. That could be a bullish move, and we want to see that continuation until the market in a sideway. We are on a sideway, but we are still observing the price action. There's no specific way that until we see the directional bias completely to enter into the market. I hope that you guys enjoying the live session. Make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Now, let's wait here for the market to show its trend in that area. So from the 4 hour perspective here, it's approaching that 4 hour resistance. Now from this level, the question is either the market is going to hit that 4 hour resistance, or we could see that to come back here. Now, let's wait to see. As the market is pushing back to the upside in that area, which currently approaching that level where there is a high liquidity. From the 1 hour, we can see the market is bouncing off this support, and from the 30 minutes, we see just there is a crossover and the candle is forming a long wick candle. I'm still waiting for the confirmation, as the market is in that area, is a sideways market. When you are using a strategy, keep in mind, as I mentioned earlier, the key here is to look for bigger time frame, the higher time frame. The multi-time frame is the key here to look at. You see there is a sell signal here, but I'm not going to enter is because of the multi-time frame approach that we need to look at the moment. So the signal will be shown on candle close. Is the support level, and we can see the market in that area hit that support and bouncing off that level, that giving a probability for the market potentially to continue to trend here. The price on this 4-hour resistance line, which is the sessions high here in that market, and as the market has reached that level from this sessions low to the high, if you look at here, you can see that the price has dropped to the session low, and then from here straight bounce back to the upside again to that key level. And that move, once the market managed to cross that high here, as the bigger picture trend also showing from the 4-hour bearish move, we might see the market to drop again to this level. So waiting for now the market to go back to 3345 level. Here is the key level to look at. When this is 10 and 20 MA crossed from each other, it's a downtrend from the 4-hour, and we see bounce off this level going to the resistance, crossing that high. Again, we could see that rejection back below in this market. That's how the market moves. It's a very puzzle and complex market. More often you see that, but once you understand its mechanism, you can easily read the market, you can easily find the trade, and that's a freedom, right? When you find the trade, you can find freedom as a trader, because that's where you can make continuous profit from the market. Now if I look at the 15 minutes here, the 15 minutes trend is showing up, 4-hour trend showing down. If they were both together in the same direction, I would look to potentially sell here. There's the move here on Xauusd. From the 15 minutes chart, we can see the market from this level is possibly to reject back again to that level. Now, as on the 4-hour resistance line, from this support, as we mentioned, is had made its bounce back to the upside. What I think that without revisiting the daily low, the market is less likely to be strongly bullish. We see that the market has made reaction in the beginning of the trading day. The market has made its initial bounce back to the upside here. Now we see that the way lower time frame price action is showing, it has dropped and now bounce on a pullback. Now this pullback could go 50%, that means that half of the daily candle, or could completely trend back down here. Is the resistance here? We see the market slowly pushing back to the upside, and how the market is reacting to this 4-hour resistance is important, as to know that we need to look for a market that is trending. And looking at the 1 minute again, we can see the market in this 1 minute chart crossed from each other. 15 minutes has come back here. Now looking at 15 minutes and looking at 1 minute, currently it's showing here possible upside bias. Multi-time frame causes sometime little confusion, but once you get that, it becomes easy. You see that 1 minute just 20 EMA came below, 10 EMA above, which is an uptrend. 15 minutes 20 EMA below, 10 EMA above, also uptrend. So if this price coming back here to this lower time frame support, that can be an entry opportunity if the market drops with a one single impulse back below here. $3342 can be a buy area for this current market structure before the candle close here. Let me delete those lines. We got one time frame aligned, 1 minute, where this is the current support here. The 15 minutes low is here. We'll be placing a buy stop in this area, 3342.65 with 1.5 ATR stop loss. So there is nearly to 10 pip per ATR. So here we will be placing the 20 pip stop loss. This will be a buy limit with a I will be later explaining the strategy. We'll be placing a buy limit here with a stop loss below this low and TP target potentially to have this high here, which gonna be nearly to 2 to 1. It didn't come here. it didn't come here. The market didn't drop to that level we discussed. If the market dropped with one single move here, I would be longing into the buy. So not placing the pending order. This is how I trade. I need to see the market has given the price action as per the strategy. We see the market didn't drop in that level. So I'm not going to enter the trade here. We'll be waiting for confirmation. On the 15 minutes, we still see that it's showing price action that might either come back below or potentially continue to rise back to the upside here. And we could see that 5 minutes price action also showing that potentially here a bullish market structure. Now the current 15-minute support is here. We'll be waiting for the rearranging of the market structure as it is currently showing an upside bias. From the 4-hour, it's crossing that session's high, but on the 15 minutes we see that there is still upside bias. So 4-hour is going to push back to the upside in this market. 1 minute aligned for potentially bullish market structure. We see 1-hour candle close coming, which is closing as a bull candle. Now after this bull candle, it could straight come back below again or continue to rise back to the upside here. That could lead the price potentially to the daily resistance line. So we're waiting to see, in fact, the market to show one single directional bias here. And as soon as you see the breakup structure, we will be looking for entry. The key here is to look for a market that is trending and that is going in the direction of the trend. Welcome back to this live session for another trading session today here. Looking for potential entry again on gold as well as other instrument here. To key level here, you can see on 15 minutes chart. $3344 is 15 minutes 10 EMA. And deleting here this level, waiting for possible entry. Once it appears, gold is still bearish. I'm expecting Xauusd 3320 downside. Gold. Okay, so there is everyone has a different way to read the market, to trade the market. Current level is here and here. Current support level 3345.89 and 3344 on the lower time frame. I'm waiting for a retest potentially in the next 12 minutes. If the market drops to that, we will be looking to go long here on this lower time frame. With a one single drop back below, first we would like to see the market has made initial bounce back to the upside here, that you can see is crossing that high, and then to return back again in the direction of the trend. Okay, so the price is coming to an important area of value. This 3344 is in both 30 minutes and the 15 minutes. They are coinciding with the 10 EMA, along with also the 5 minutes crossed over from 10 and 20 EMA, and the 1 minute. Currently the market is here. Guys, if you get confused with the multi-time frame, then don't miss out the classes that I am conducting in the premium group, because when you are trading, you need to know that those multi-time frame analysis, so that you know exactly in what situation you will be entering into this. Just dropping down back below here. Let's look at the first of all ATR here, which is 9 ATR. Currently to this level is 22, so more than 2 ATR. Okay, so we see some move here coming back. I'm going to place a buy stop at this level with 20 pips stop loss. Pardon, not buy stop, buy limit. That means if the market drop to this level 3344.27, I will be entering into the trade or not. Stop loss below this low here, 22.21 pip. TP target will be to this high here, to at least 1.9 times. Placing a buy limit at 3344.29. So placing a buy limit. Place the buy limit at this level. So waiting for a potential trigger here. We are nearly there. I might get a trigger very soon. So I move my stop loss at 3342.00 just to allow the spread. So I got a trigger here. The trade is active. The trade is active here with me. I am on the trade on Xauusd with only few pip stop loss around here to 22-23 pip stop loss with this buy limit on Xauusd for potential upside bias back to the upside, and where we might see a potential drop or potentially a return back again from this 10 EMA on the lower time frame. So we are on the support level on the 1 minute chart, and so here is the target for us with this trade is 39 pip. Now if the market reach to that level, we can manage the trade accordingly to at least 30 pip, 32 pip will be good for us to see the market is potentially be heading back to the upside here. The price has just started to move back again in the direction of the trend, and looking at here, okay, so the TF signal showing buy, and this is the trade that I have taken. This is my best tool that I am using to trade the market at the moment. Now with this tool, I directly get all my entry, stop loss, and take profit target. Now in my tool, I'm getting stop loss at 3343.38, but I moved to 3342 as just to allow some space here, waiting for the market to show potential directional bias here. It may drop back below, so I have done the proper risk management for this market to show up its hand. The probability for the trade is around 66.3%, but waiting to see how it is appearing in fact in the market to show that. We see there is a break below, as it's a very tight stop loss. We'll be looking to see if it playing out or no. Now from the 1 hour, there is a sharp rejection here. Expecting it to return back again to the direction of the trend. Five minutes, if we look at here, the market has made its initial drop. Now, if this is a false breakdown, we can expect it to bounce back again to the upside in the direction of the trend. The market on the 15 minutes 10 EMA as well as 30 minutes 10 EMA, and would like to see one potential bounce back or trend continuation. As I mentioned earlier, I have a very tight stop loss, so I keep a very tight stop loss for potential that, because if the market is deviating from a little bit from my strategy, I got out of the trade and wait for another entry. That's the best way to trade the market, so that you can keep always the risk low and then enter with the high probability setup, keeping the trade in the direction of the trend here. So the signal here that I can see in my tool is at stop loss showing at TP target 3349.20, but I have set little earlier, and the stop loss in my tool showing at 3343.38, but I dropped to 3342 for a little bit of a space here, so that you know that exactly this could be where you can look for possible space here, a little bit more time to give the market for the price to show up its hand here. As the bigger picture that you can see in this market here is potentially be to the upside or to the downside, as both direction is possible, as the market is almost nearly to an area. So let's look at here on the 15 minutes that how the market is trying to do, how the market is trying to build up that pressure here, and waiting for the market. If the market is showing here this one an upside bias or breaking back below again to the direction of the daily support. If it breaks that support, we might see in fact the market coming back to the daily support, that we can't look at that market to do anything else in that case. So it's trying to push back down, and we see that there is some kind of so here so the market has penetrated back below, and we might see now a possible rejection from the 1 hour. It's getting the rejection here, so it just has crossed back below from this high from the 15 minutes. So we see that there is a resistance breakdown, and there is a break of structure, and we can see the market is changing the trend. And with this change of trend, it may continue to drop back well below here. So 4 hour resistance got the rejection back from the 4 hour resistance line, and it has a complete rejection. So we might see that support break. I will be waiting little more to see where the market possibly be heading. So 22 pip did not work out. We can take another trade for a move back again, or to return to the support level. First of all, you would like to see that which way the market is heading back again. From the 1 hour, we can see that there is a after break of this high from this 4 hour resistance, there is a complete break below, and that is showing that the market may, look at the 15 minutes here, we can see that there is a bounce back to the upside. So higher time frame is playing out from this 4 hour resistance line, crossing that high. So it may trend down, potentially back below. So you might see that support break on the 15 minutes chart here, and with this support break if the market break this support here, we might see the price to come back to that level here, which is the daily support level. From this 4-hour resistance, after cross of this high, you see that rejection has got that back below here in that area. So as the market sentiment changes in this market, we would see that the price to potentially trend again back below this daily low. So the lower time frame here that you can see at the moment is potentially to come back here again to this daily low. The 1 minute chart, the price is trying to push back again from this support level. We see that the market has broken the support level here in that area. So 30 minutes and the 1 hour, it's a complete rejection from the top. That is showing that the market may possibly remain bearish today, but it might move little sideways still for some more time in this market. So here in that area, this is with this bearish rejection. This is a bearish engulfer on the 5 minute chart. And as the market has tested multiple times this high with this double top and strong rejection, we could see the market to come back here to this support level multiple times. And the possibility for this trend to continue back below here is very higher. And in that area that we will be waiting for the market to show potentially come back below. So therefore any break of this support as it tested this high forming a double top is higher. Once the market breaks this support here, we highly likely could see the market to come back to this long-term daily level. Yeah, it's basically breaking that support here. So it's downtrend, showing the downtrend, and the market is most likely could break that support back below. And with this break, if it come back below here, we will see that the market to come back to this daily low, which is 83 pip potential drop, before either we could see again break below, or we might see another bounce back to the upside. With this support here in this market on the lower time frame, now it's pushing back for another pullback. We see the market here in this area getting rejection from the top. This 5 minutes price action that you can see also showing possible breakup support. Until you see that breakup support, we are here to look for further entry. 1 minute we see there is a doji formation, and I think the market ultimately potentially break that support and come back below here. As 1 minute chart again cross from 10 and 20 MA, 15 minutes. So we'll be waiting for that crossover and then to come back here. Possibly after the crossover confirmation, we can look for entry. Okay, you can see the market from this level started to come back here, and we may see the market to continue to trend back below this level, and therefore I'm waiting for a possible sell entry once the price action confirms here. We can see from this double top formation the market is potentially trending back to this daily low. Multiple rejection from the top showing that the price may come back to this daily low. So for entry confirmation, we'll be waiting for a lower time frame price action to show us an entry, especially after a pullback on the 1 minute chart or in the 15-minute chart. I'll be looking to sell. Until that, we will be waiting for a complete break of support and the retest continuation back to the support level. That's what we're waiting to see, and if there is any further entry opportunity, also we'll be looking into that. That being said, guys, I'm coming on live again later today to trade three important high impact news coming up. I'll see you there again trading live together in the next live session. Until that, stay well, stay happy. We'll see you there. Keep eye for the next live. Will be on the schedule. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.